Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis Me once again. Other than doing my list for the best movies and video games that come out each year, I usually don't do any other lists like I used to anymore. Why is that? I honestly don't know. I guess maybe it's because I'm usually afraid of showing copyrighted content, or maybe I'm just too lazy, but either way, it's not really a common thing for my channel anymore. However, you guys know Bluey has been a new big thing on my channel. I literally have a whole playlist involving videos I made involving Bluey, and I have this room, which I made a video on. Though I'm not really the type of channel that gets fully deep into the show, I usually leave that to the professionals. I usually just make Bluey-themed shorts, or show off stuff in my Bluey collection, or try different pieces of licensed Bluey stuff, whether it be food, or playing board games, or making food inspired by the episodes from the show. But one day, I just suddenly had the urge to talk about my favorite Bluey characters in a top 10 list.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is so much fun, right, Lecter? I think I'm gonna go to the strip club, maybe shoot some more guys, steal his car. Oh yeah, this is such a manly thing right here. Yeah, woo! I'm a man.
Suddenly, I want to make my top 10 best Bluey characters list. Because Bluey has become so special to me, and has so many characters us as the viewer can connect to, whether it be a kid or adult character, Bluey has so many different types that just speak to us in so many relatable ways that I wanted to make a list about it. So here we go. This is going to be my list for my top 10 favorite characters from Bluey. Before I get into it, let me just say something. I don't really hate any of the characters. There are some that I find to be alright, but because the show has so much charm and personality to it with its characters, I don't really have much of a reason to just flat out hate any of them. But if you had to ask me my least favorite character, it would probably be the old lady pug from Granny Mobile. I feel like she acts like she belongs in a completely different show. Also, because it has so many endearing characters, to make this easier, I'm only including characters that appeared in more than one episode. So unfortunately, I have to leave out characters like Alfie. Though, seriously, we need more of that guy. Like, the people just love him, and I, myself, would love to see him in another episode. Also, no toy characters. I love you, Unicorns, but you're just a puppet with Bandit's voice.
You will live to regret that.
But, now that we got that said, let's begin. Number 10. Chris Healer, also known as Nana. I'm starting things off strong here with the grandmother, or Nana, of the Blue Healer herself. Nana is the type of grandmother most people certainly deserve as a child. I have a grandmother like this. I mean, she made me Bluey stuff like this, and these, and yeah, she's very talented, and yeah, it's really nice when she surprises me with making her own Bluey creations for myself. She's an understanding and caring elder whose voice is just as endearing as her personality. She's always delighted when her grandkids come over, whether it be to watch them while Bandit and Chili want to spend time alone, or other reasons. She's always willing to show her love for them. Also, with being the mother of Bandit, Radley, and Stripe, she also shows to be a caring mother too, even if she was a bit mean in the 80s, but mothers were allowed to be mean back then. Not to mention, she's voiced by Chris Brum, the mother of the creator of the show, Joe Brum. Because the show is a representation of his family, it's truly a nice touch. Same with his brother Dan Brum, who voices Stripe. Nana is truly a wonderful grandmother and all around a very delightful character. Number 9. Pat. Also known as Lucky's dad, but I'm calling him Pat. One of the Healer's next door neighbors has become a fan favorite amongst viewers, as he's one of those types of neighbors that is usually minding his own business until, of course, the Healers are playing a game and he gets involved randomly, giving him no choice but to commit. But that's what makes him such a fun character, because he himself is a father of 2, except having 2 boys. Pat's willing to go into the game to have fun as well, no matter how embarrassing it gets. Like, of course, having to help Bandit pretend to, give birth. Let's also not forget about the episode where he teaches children that it's okay to lose. As long as you're happy for the others winning, it makes the game more fun. He's shown to be a good neighbor, a caring father, and a caring husband towards his wife Janelle. He's certainly one of those neighbors that we wish were our own. I barely talk to any of the neighbors in this apartment complex. Why can't I have a neighbor like Pat? Number 8. Jack Russell. This is where we are getting into the characters that have become such great role models for kids with disabilities, specifically with ADHD or autism. and Jack is a fantastic representation to those types of kids. Jack was first introduced in Season 2 in the episode Army, and the community just fell in love with him. This adorable little ball of playfulness. He was the new kid in Bluey's school, and Jack thought it would be hard for him to fit in until meeting Rusty, where he mentions he can't sit still, he can't do what he's told, and he can't remember certain things like letters or numbers. But when he meets Rusty, he shows that he actually can do that type of stuff when he starts playing Army with him and following his rules. He was so loved by many that it's so great to see him appear in more episodes occasionally, like Helicopter, Explorers, and Space. Joe Brumm has certainly managed to create characters many of the public can relate to, and Jack has truly spoken to the minds of younger ones who have gone through what he's been going through. Even though his family doesn't always understand his disabilities, it's clear they still love him, just like we as the viewers do. There's just so much to him. From his cute appearance, his caring personality, what's not to love? Also, can we please get a plush toy of him? I feel like he truly deserves one. I would honestly burst with joy if they ever do. Number 7. Rusty. Speaking of Rusty, my number 7 spot goes to Bluey's original main character. Yep, that's right. Original main character. Rusty was supposed to be the star, but because Joe Brumm felt like it wouldn't be as interesting, he decided to make the show represent his own family instead. It pretty much explains why Bluey and Rusty's designs are both very similar, pretty much. But he has stated that Rusty is actually his favorite character, which is why he wanted to make an episode focused on him, and he did with Cricket. But of course, he's made many other appearances too, like Early Baby, Mums and Dads, Army of course, and others too. He's a recurring character with so much charm from his adorable accent, which... Before I go on, can we just appreciate how talented these child actors are? They fit the voices for these characters so well, it's pretty much unbelievable. It makes it all the more impressive how all the kids remain anonymous. But that's certainly for the best. Anyways, Rusty is certainly one of those characters that feels like he has more than one type of thing he focuses on. In terms of playtime, from playing Mums and Dads with Indy, playing Army with Jack, or playing Cricket, he's also such a loving boy when it comes to being with his family. Honestly, even if Rusty was the main character, I wouldn't mind at all. I'd love to see more episodes involving him and his family. He's such a delightful character and has become a fan favorite for many, including Joe Brumm himself. Number 6. Muffin. I cannot tell you how much I adore Muffin. I almost wanted to put her higher. Muffin is just such an adorable and hilarious character that I just feel like it's kind of a shame some fans just don't understand her characteristics. Some people just go as far as to just hate on her. Now look, she certainly has fans, but there are actions she does that makes people feel differently. Like in charades where she yells about wanting to be a ballerina, or not playing by the rules in the library, or refusing to let her sister have a turn on the tablet in Facey Talk so she can make her cowboy hat. But here's the thing. She's a toddler. She's less than 5 years old, and she's the type of child I think parents can relate to when it comes to raising a child. Besides, despite her actions, she is a caring sibling to her little sister Socks. Not all the time, but she certainly does show support for her once in a while. She can also be understanding when Stripe explains she isn't the most special kid in the world. She took it extremely well, and said one of her funniest lines ever.
I'm not special anymore.
Compare that to Caillou, who cried just because he was told he had to wait one more day to go to the circus. Besides, because she's so young, she's not good at understanding how things work. She often gets the wrong idea about certain things, but that's okay. Also, her personality is so freaking cute. And she has some of the most quotable lines in the show. I just can never have the urge to hate on her. Her voice is adorable. Her name itself is adorable.
Muffin Cupcake Healer.
And she always puts a smile on my face when she appears. In fact, she has gotten a lot more merchandise recently, including a kid's Halloween costume, and more merch from Hot Topic. I have always been wanting bigger Muffin plush toys, and I'm so glad we do. Yeah, like how could I resist this? So it's clear she's here to stay. She's by far the funniest character, and surprisingly, one of the most important. She's relatable for parents, raising toddlers with chaotic personalities, and is just all around a lovable little pup, and I'll defend her till I'm dead. Or no, even when I'm dead, I'll still love her. Number 5. McKenzie. Another character that has been a fan favorite for many in the fandom. McKenzie is one character that actually was from a different country, that being New Zealand. McKenzie has become a recurring character for quite some time, and I just love when he shows up. McKenzie is a little border collie who actually has something in common with Bluey. People mistake his gender, because McKenzie is more common as a girl's name, but has been represented as a boy in the show. McKenzie is certainly a character that generally has more of that dog personality in him, like jumping on sheep, digging holes, or whatever he's doing in the episode Helicopter. McKenzie never manages to make the show boring, but what makes this character better is when it gets to the episode Space, which is one of the most underrated episodes in my opinion, where he, Jack, and Rusty are playing space, but he wants to pretend he's getting left behind by them, but isn't exactly sure why. But I think it makes a lot more sense with each viewing, and it makes for a beautiful message about leaving behind your traumatic past and continuing to live in the present with the people who are there for you. Also, baby McKenzie is one of the cutest things I've ever seen in this whole show. I want a plush toy of him. He certainly has been a delightful character since he appeared, and I love seeing him on screen, and I feel like he himself has become so relatable, not just to kids, but even people of any age who's gone through what he went through. He also has some occasionally funny moments. Also, he has probably one of the most unique designs in the show, especially for a border collie. From the bent ear, to the extra fur, to the different colored feet. The creators clearly put a lot of love and effort into the characters' designs, even though people mention they're mostly just square, rectangular shaped. But as long as they're all interesting or lovable, it shouldn't matter. And as for McKenzie, he's probably by far my favorite character that's not a member of the Healer family. Number 4. Bingo. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Bingo at number 4? Why not higher? Look, Bingo has become a fan favorite for many. She's even a favorite of my own father, but for so many good reasons. But just because she's number 4 on my list doesn't mean I don't like her. I love her so much. She's honestly the kid most parents probably wish they had. They probably wouldn't say that in front of their own kids, but still, Bingo is the energetic and lovable little sister of Bluey who's just as playful as her. She has a voice that fits her character so well and is able to make up so many fun games and so many hilarious moments, and even questions from asking how babies get in ladies' bellies to who had the first baby in the world. She's both curious and playful, but all around, just a sweet little girl. It's basically impossible not to love the little red healer. She's also very caring towards her friends too, especially when she meets Leela. She's grown such a strong bond with her, she even asked her mom if she would come with them when they were gonna move. Now that's both heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time. She's been adored by the community so much, people feel like she should be the star, despite them literally making an episode called Bingo. Also, like McKenzie, she has a lot of that dog energy in her. From barking to picking up newspapers with her mouth, and there is never a time where she isn't feeling like she's ever going to stop being lovable. She's been a favorite among many for good reason, and she's also great when she learns important things in life, just like her sister. And she's so beloved by many that every time they release a piece of Bluey merch, you can guarantee they'll make a Bingo version. She's been with us since episode 1, and she'll certainly remain a delight for all of us who continue to support the show. Number 3. Chili. Now that we're getting into the parents, let me say something. When someone says Bluey is just another kid show, there's either two things why they'd say that. Either they never watched the show, or they ignored episodes like Baby Race, which was a big aim towards the mothers. Not the babies, the mothers. Every single mother needs to see Baby Race at least once in their life, because not only will they fall in love with baby Bluey, but they will cry with how beautiful it is and show the importance of motherhood, and that whether or not your child will learn quickly enough, you're still being a great parent. That's why Chili is much more than just another parent in a kid's show that barely gets screen time. She's a character that just always knows what to do when supporting her family. She always wants what's best for her kids and is willing to play with them to teach them important things in life, just like her husband, who is certainly coming up soon, obviously. Chili's not only a great cartoon mother, but a great TV mother. She feels like a real human being in the perspective of a dog. And she's always able to comfort her kids, telling them the importance of new friends coming into our lives for a little bit, and then they have to leave, or giving them a checklist to show what they should do if they feel upset, or telling us that things that we need that are boring are still important nonetheless, which is literally something I feel like every adult can relate to, if you know what I mean. She teaches her kids stuff that literally anyone can relate to. Her personality is great. Her love for her family is beautiful, and her voice actress, Melanie Zanetti, is so good at playing her. She generally shows she loves voicing her. She's certainly a fantastic role model for mothers. It makes you forget this was a kid's show. Number 2, Bluey. Yep, that's right. Bluey is at number 2. Despite her being the main character, there are actually a lot of fans who actually consider other characters to be their favorite over her. But there's no denying how lovable Bluey herself is. Bluey is obviously the one who learns stuff the most from her parents, and is by far the one we get to see the most, whether she plays games with her friends or her family. She always has a lovable personality that makes her so endearing, and is just all around an adorable and wholesome protagonist. Of course, she's not perfect. She has her faults when it comes to her frustrations, but she always manages to learn lessons in the end. Whether it's about sharing or showing her sister that crannies actually can floss, she's always able to get it in the end. She also shows a deep love for her family by always wanting to play with them and just wanting to be silly from time to time. She also loves to be creative, like trying to build a dam in the driveway while it's raining, but she keeps leaving watery footprints in the house when she gets stuff for the dam. She always loves to be creative and playful. She's been a great example of a child slowly learning things in life, and she also has been a great representation for having a great childhood. It's like Bandit said, flowers may bloom again, but a person never has the chance to be young again. She's been such a lovable and endearing character throughout the, this year will be 7 years? Oh my. And we as the viewer just can't get enough of her. Whether you confused her for a boy or always knew she was a girl. Unfortunately, I was one of those people who confused her for a boy. It happens, but still, she's here to stay, pretty much. Now, of course, I have some honorable mentions before revealing my extremely predictable top pick. There were so many great characters to put on here, so leaving these guys out was kind of hard. Honey, truly a lovable beagle that has so many unique skills like building with toys or moving her whole body while keeping her tail still. She's just too precious. Stripe. He may not be as good as parenting as the other guy, but he certainly does try to put effort. Plus, it's obvious where Muffin gets her chaotic nature from. Trixie. Always being able to speak your mind is important, and Trixie does a great job at doing that, even though she's really bad at resisting chips. Calypso. If Chili's a master when it comes to parenting, Calypso is a master when it comes to teaching. Her soothing voice and being able to listen to her students' problems is truly something we all want from a teacher. Seriously, does she have her own kids? Because she'd make a great mother too. Winton. He has a very unique personality, whether it involves him making raspberry sounds or becoming a superhero when stories are being told. Winton is certainly a unique little guy. Leela. She may be a shy little pup, but her sweet and innocent personality will pretty much make anybody want to be her friend. She was certainly able to get Bingo as a friend forever and ever and ever. Socks. Going from a puppy to a child standing on 2 legs may sound a bit confusing when it comes to the logic of Bluey, but because of Sock's adorable puppy personality as well as her child personality makes her super irresistible, in my opinion. Indy. A very caring and thoughtful little hound, just don't ask her mom to make you brownies. Chloe. A very imaginative little Dalmatian and a loving friend towards Bluey, not to mention she has a father that she taught how to be just like Bluey's dad, which she succeeded at. Bradley. He may not have had too many appearances, but man, his design is spot on. There's just one question. He's a red healer and blue healer mix, but both Chris and Bob are seen as blue healers. And at this point, who cares? He's still cool. Busker. The Bluey soundtrack is phenomenal, and Busker certainly has a great talent for music, and he just makes it even better when he's on screen. And finally, we get to my obvious, predictable, very cliche top pick, for most Bluey fans anyway, Bandit. Of course it's going to be Bandit. He steals the show every time he's on screen. Even when the episode isn't about him, Joe Brumm has pretty much created the ultimate cartoon dad. And parents at times often get jealous of how good of a parent he is. He even won a Father of the Year award without even existing. No joke, look it up. What is it about Bandit that just shows how to be a great father? Well, he shows he has a deep love for his children and his own wife. He shows that with every game that they play, he's always committed to the game, whether he has to embarrass himself in public to make his kids happy, or play games to teach them important things in life. This man just shows he'd do anything for his children. But it's not just his parenting skills that's so endearing, but the fact is, he loves to help out other people, like Pom Pom, who feels left out of playing with the other kids. He shows he's both a caring parent and a caring person. He even shows that he loves his mom, even though her cooking sucks, he still considers her the best mom in the whole world. He even admits to his faults, like picking on his brother Stripe, but being able to help him in the end, and also showing he has a deep love for his wife Chili, that he loves being a supportive and caring husband, and is willing to help parent the kids with her. He has become all around just a wholesome character that, even despite his age, would still do anything for his children. It's really hard to see a cartoon father this dedicated to his own family in our time, and it's also amazing to know of how often the show focuses on parenting, that the fact that people still consider it just for kids is baffling. Rarely do kid shows ever focus on the parents. They're often just there to show the kids obviously don't live alone. But Bandit has so much personality to him, there's not a single thing about him that I would change. He's the cartoon dad of this generation and my favorite character in Bluey. But really, the makers have done such a wonderful job with making these characters so relatable and wholesome. It shows it's not only focusing on just the main family, but others as well. From the adults to the kids, it's like there's that one character that speaks to us. Some people may just call it another kid's show when it has way more behind it. Besides, Joe Brumm initially wanted to make it an adult cartoon, but because it would be more fitting to make it more kid-friendly, that alone is enough to know Bluey is for everyone. Not just kids, everyone. It has something anyone can enjoy, and if you're a grown-up like me, you shouldn't feel ashamed. I certainly don't. Why do you think I have this room? Obviously, my list is going to be far more different than most of you guys, so let me know what your top 10 characters are, or even top 15 or 20 if you want. And I know what you're thinking. Will you make a list for your top 10 favorite Bluey episodes? It's possible, but it would be more like top 50 because there are far too many to choose from. So don't expect it anytime soon. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.